Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Chatty Chonga.
Hello, everyone.
With your favorite two co-hosts.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we are going to be talking about everybody's favorite thing.
Sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cardio workout. It can be a weight workout. And it can also be a job, which is one of the things we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, I want to get into OnlyFans, being a stripper, just sex work in general. And just sex, like our experiences, like what we like, what we dislike.
Sex, what we like, what we dislike. Very particular.
Very particular.
Yes. And not that particular at the same time.
That's true. We're open.
Yeah.
I mean, not open to. I'm a little bit more.
I'm a little more
picky.
open in many ways. But yeah, I mean, like jumping right off. How old were you when you lost your virginity?
Ooh, that's a good start.
Yeah.
I was.
And was it with a guy or a girl?
It was with a girl.
Okay.
It was kind of young.
Mm-hmm.
Like 8th grade to 9th grade. That summer.
So turning
like 14
PMV.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it wasn't like real sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was still like,
yeah.
Who was it with?
This girl, Valerie. But like, no. Valerie, if you're listening.
Was it good?
No, I was so nervous.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my first with a guy was 18. It was the same thing. It was like not, I wouldn't consider it. It was just like that first,
yeah.
Yeah. And then when I was 20, that's when I was just like, okay, this is it.
Really?
Yeah, with a guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like 16, freshly 16.
Mm-hmm.
It was the summer before junior year. And yeah, it was with a guy. I was out of town for a sports competition.
Oh?
Yeah. And we were both gay. And we both talked about it afterwards. Like, we were roommates.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we met each other, we immediately knew that we were both gay. And we're like 16 and horny. And we're like, what? This is going to happen. And it did.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Like you said, I was very nervous. And I remember honestly, when it happened, I had plans with someone else, and I wanted to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, you have to stay. So it was kind of weird, but yeah, it was good.
I feel like the first time for me, both times,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? And I just felt so awkward.
Awkward.
I just felt so awkward. And then, because you're
nervous,
just you've never done this, so you're just like, am I doing it right?
Well, and especially, I don't know about for you, but, we had no condoms, we had no lube, we had no idea how any of this, prep was very minimal. Because, like you said, you just, especially for gay people, you don't know.
But I think you need those awkward times to have good sex.
To have good sex. When did you start having good sex?
When I was 2021.
I was
I'm in my mid-20s, by the way, everyone.
Yeah.
2021, because that's when I started, liking guys. Liking, relationship. Yeah, when I turned 20. 18 was, a coming of age where I was like, oh, I can get down to both. Banana split. I can get with both. And then I just hadn't met a guy that I was like, oh, I can see myself with. So for the longest time, I was like, oh, I'm never going to be in a relationship with a guy. And then I met the last person who,
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the first person I was like, okay, I can see myself, they're cool. I can see myself with them. And yeah, that was the first time I was like, okay, this is good. And then my first relationship, like, kind of solidified. I was like, okay, now I know what I need out of good, because experiences kind of like mold like what your interests are, what you know, exactly. Some don't work out, whatever, but like you need those experiences, whether they're good or bad, to like not only know how to like please somebody else, but to please yourself. Come on, we gotta put ourselves out there.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. It's like once I first started having sex at 16, I was sort of like, I started having kind of a lot of it. Mm-hmm. Not a lot, but like in high school, was not having good sex. Mm-hmm. College for me was where it started. Like, I remember freshman and sophomore year. That's when I first started having like a couple times of being like, oh wow, like this person really knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I remember sophomore year, there was this one freshman who I felt so embarrassed. It was so stupid. We were like not even 6 months apart in age, but I felt so gross, like hooking up with a freshman. Mm-hmm. He knew what he was doing though. And that was like one of the first like consistent people where I was like, oh, like they know what they're doing, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. And then I go to someone else and I'd be like, oh, you don't know what you're doing.
Or the both of you, we were watching a podcast with Meg Thee Stallion.
Which one?
Meg Thee Stallion and Carisha.
Oh, yeah. JT.
And she said something, she was like, I feel like when the both of you are trying to like one-up each other, like it's not good sex because like you guys are trying to like show off. You know, like yeah, they're like, I know what to do. It's like, I know what to do. And you guys are just, it becomes too much. Like, what happened to, let's just have normal, I'm not saying vanilla, but like, you don't have to do the most to make it good.
I will also say like, I've gotten a lot kinkier as I've gotten older.
Really?
Yeah.
You can go off about that.
No, I mean,
sound off. I'm not really.
No, like, I've always been like a little bit. But I kind of feel like it's a situation where, like, at this age, I was 19 years old. Oh, my God, I would never do this. And now I'm sort of like, okay, I have done this, and I want to push it further. Mm-hmm. I'm not super kinky. Like, I don't need to be, like, choked until I'm blacked out. I know people who are like that. I don't need a fucking black eye.
Yeah.
No gimp suit. For me, like, my thing is, like, I'm not gonna buy any accessories to have sex with. Mm-hmm. But
besides, like, rope and stuff.
Besides, like, yeah, like handcuffs, I guess. Rope.
So, speaking on kinks and stuff, what are your thoughts on that dominatrix
Oh,
stuff?
Like, dominant? Yeah,
dom.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
I feel another one coming.
First sneeze on the podcast.
I know. I think it's super cool. Like, I think that obviously everybody has their stuff that they're into, and some of it is like people aren't always comfortable asking a partner about it. Mm-hmm. And so I think that having like a dominatrix is a great way for people to act out and enjoy like their more extreme fantasies mm-hmm. in an environment where like everyone is down for it, everyone knows what they're doing, and mm-hmm. everyone's comfortable, rather than like going to your girlfriend and being like, hey, can I lock you in a dog cage? And like, you know, like risk really like upending.
Well, I think usually when a man goes to a dominatrix, it's him wanting to be in that cage, right? Like it's him wanting to get dominated.
I guess that's true.
I mean, you shouldn't be in a relationship if you're seeking that on the side, in my opinion.
I think that that's something that, like, you can maybe have... I would be honest, that's, like, the one way maybe that I would have an open relationship, is if one person is into, like, super extreme kinks and the other person just, like, is not... And you guys can have the vanilla sex together and then say, hey, you person who you do want to, like, for me, like, I will never pee on somebody. I'm sorry. Like,
damn, getting right into it.
And if I'm with someone who, like, that is so much their thing,
They can go seek that out.
I would be like, okay, like you can go seek this out in a dominatrix where there's no emotional attachment. There's no, you're getting this thing that I won't provide fulfilled. And then we can go back and have our own like comparatively vanilla sex.
No, I can see that. Now, what do you think of the job itself, like on the dominatrix side?
I would totally do it.
I think I'm capable.
I'm so capable of it. Watching like Julia Fox interviews and like there's some Netflix show that was popular a while ago about like doms.
You need to have a certain personality for it.
I think that I could like Gemini's always creating characters. I think that I could create like a really great like dominatrix character.
Yeah, 100%. And alongside with Dom, what are your thoughts on like sex work and stuff? And like
again, like big fan. I feel like
me too. I feel like people shouldn't shame others for doing it.
Totally
like
agree.
Do your thing.
Like,
if I'm sorry, like
sex work,
and whoever has like an OnlyFans listening, like if
Go
you're
off,
good for you, first of all, because I could never.
Yeah.
Second, like if you're racking in big bucks, good for you.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do that, you can do that.
Even if you're not. So like my ex who does OnlyFans, he was telling me, and he was not like super famous. He was not top 1%, because those people like
they reckon money.
Bank. I mean, there's people who are making like hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars a month doing this.
That's crazy.
But this guy was saying, he's like, for him, it was really great side money. He's like, I wouldn't be able to pay my rent on it. I wouldn't be able to like live on OnlyFans.
But it was just money on the side.
But like having a job and doing it on the side, he's like, it's how I pay for like going out for dinner. If I'm gonna go out to a bar, like fun money, he's like, it's great on this side.
I think those like people who have those sex working side hustles are so funny, because like they're like a lawyer by day or something, or like something by day, and then like on the side they're like a stripper.
Yeah.
And by the way, love strippers. If I could be
I do
one,
I do like strippers.
I mean, I would want to. I love it. Good for them. I would want to be a stripper for like one night.
Have you heard about these like cash bags? Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh, like it. Basically, like their kink is paying other people, like not even necessarily to do sexual things, like maybe send a video, I guess. But it's this whole like dominatrix like mindset thing where they have someone who tells them to do degrading shit.
And they do it.
Yeah. And it's like, send me a video of you doing this horrible thing, and then send me like $500.
That's crazy.
I would do it.
But going back to strippers, have you ever been to a strip club, and how was your experience?
I have been to a strip club in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Oof.
Yes. Yes. It was so much fun. I honestly loved it. I went with one of my girlfriends and her boyfriend. Super weird.
Wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But
They broke up.
I can only imagine why.
Yeah. I was getting a lot of lap dances, because like obviously I'm not into it like arousally.
I kind of was my first time.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm very into like the atmosphere and like
I love like
the energy.
I don't smoke I smoke weed, but I don't smoke hookah. But like the hookah smoke and like them dancing, I'm like, I love this for you. And of course, I went with a couple of girls and like a couple of gays and like one straight person. Boring. But I remember like there was a stripper in the VIP section, but we could see them, and she was like showing us everyone's just like, yes, like, but you can't cheer, like everyone's just dead serious, like in the strip club, and everyone's like quiet, and we just I was talking to my friend. I was like, I just want to cheer and hype them up so bad and be like, you're a baddie. Like, shake that fucking ass. Like, yes, titties, yes, ass. Like, get into it with the music. I'm like, and you just see like money being thrown. Like,
I know.
I just feel like I'm in like a music video for like the weekend or something.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. No, I would pay for lap dances, and then they would give me a lap dance, and we would just like talk, and I'd be like, so where are you from? Like, what made you decide to do this? Yeah.
I love strippers.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I like strippers. You don't want to talk to any of the prostitutes on our little street.
Okay, so right now we are traveling a little bit, and it's not that I don't put that out there. I don't want to talk to them. It's just late at night.
Okay, where we are, there's a lot of prostitution, and
yes, we're in like a very city
sketchy area of the city.
Yeah, we're in a sketchy area. That's where we're staying.
But it's fine. Anyways.
Yeah, that's besides the point.
Anyways,
there's on the street.
There's a lot of prostitutes.
There's a lot of prostitutes. I'm like I said, I'm with sex work, but at 4 a.m, if you're coming up to me, like, I don't think I want to chat. I just don't want to chat.
I'm gonna be like, hey, like, what's your Insta?
Let's
grab brunch tomorrow morning.
I feel like, the dark side of, there is that dark side of sex work,
which I think like really needs to be acknowledged.
Yeah, and I don't know what it's like, but just by like hearing stories and stuff, like it is really scary, like, because it's so easy to get taken advantage of, like get hurt.
Well, yeah. And if you are like, if you are being trafficked, like, which is very real and like it happens,
that's really scary.
It's really scary. You have no resources. Like you can't. What are you gonna do? Go to the police? Like you can't do anything.
Kind of like that girl in White Lotus. By the way, White Lotus.
Check out White Lotus.
That show is so good.
Yeah.
But there's a prostitute in it who.
And
yeah, she had to go back to the guy controlling her, or she was gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I guess like, you could always like run away, but they'd probably find you.
Yeah, but I think those stories are so interesting though, like. Just like what they have to go, because everyone, especially on TV, like I feel like they make sex work look so
glamorous. Mm-hmm. It's very glamorous
with the costumes and like the certain
situations they're with rich
or
people.
Maybe it's the shows and movies that I've watched, but that's what I've seen, like more like a brighter light on it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that in some ways it's like almost to show like the dignity of these people and like, but at the same time I do think that it does kind of and I worry about that with OnlyFans. Like I said, like I'm very pro sex work, but I feel like there's a lot of people right now
you have to be like
dedicated
in my opinion. Like once you follow through with that decision,
that follows you,
and it's not this comes from a place of no judgment, but you really need to think of like the outcome of it. Like there is that possibility people might recognize you doing it. With jobs in the future, and if that doesn't bother you, hey,
go ahead.
Like that's not my life.
People blackmailing you, people threatening to tell your family, like all of this stuff. Like,
but people just they're like, oh, it's just me doing this on camera, but it's like it's just more than that. It's not just like a quick.
No, I mean like speaking as someone who like has like done a lot of this sketchy shit and like where there is like a little bit of a paper trail, I'm gonna be honest, it is like a little bit stressful to always have that in the back of my mind that like there are like pictures and videos out there. Like there are people who have these stories that,
and especially with nudes, like if you're gonna show nudes with face, think about it. You know what I mean?
Even just romantic
I'm pro nudes, but you'll never see me put my face in it because that's just not.
I'm kind of anti nudes, if I'm being honest.
I don't mind nudes.
I do not like nudes.
I like nudes with like someone I'm talking to.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like
that.
I don't want to see a picture of your penis.
It's not like constantly. It's like, you know, you just feel sexy and hot.
I do not like phone sex. I do not do this thing. I used to, girl, you know, in Hawaii, the whole like Snapchat, FaceTime.
Snapchat is dead. Snapchat for me, it's dead.
I use Snapchat,
yeah.
But like video sex, phone sex, like I do not like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather watch porn.
That's true.
Or I'd rather like have sex with an actual person.
But sometimes I need more than porn. Like sometimes.
Yeah, but for me, like more than porn, like
it's like sex.
It's like, you know, like going on Grindr and being like, I want a blowjob. Swap head, question mark.
I'm on like a long streak of no sex. 5 months, everybody.
I haven't had sex since August.
Yeah.
No, October.
But I have hooked up. What's like hooking up to you? Like I've done everything
but sex.
Sex a couple times since August.
If no penis in the booty hole is sex, everything else I would say. I feel like blowjobs are a weird like halfway thing, but that's
still like, we hooked up.
Exactly. Like I still.
But some people think hooking up is like we fucked. Everyone uses it differently.
I mean, I would say hooked up is everything. Like if I say, we hooked up, yes, like even if we had sex, I might say we hooked up.
No, I would say like we fucked.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I say if we fucked, then like we definitely fucked, but hooked up can mean a lot of things.
Hooking up is like third base. And then we fucked, like, is going home.
Okay.
For me. That's how I see it.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
I don't mind a cheeky hookup.
A cheeky hookup.
A cheeky hookup.
A sneaky link.
A sneaky link. But I just haven't been wanting to, like...
have sex. No,
because, we were talking about this. I feel like maybe other people can relate to this, but mid-20s, like, I'm kind of over my hoe phase. Personally,
I'm getting out of my hoe phase.
I've had my moment in my early 20s where I was like hoeing, like I was hoeing around. Now I can't even be bothered to like flirt or like want to meet up to hook up, like, and I'm okay with that.
I came here really expecting to have a hoe phase,
and it didn't happen.
And I think
just had like little hookups.
Yeah, I mean, I had. Don't get me wrong. Like I was a hoe.
Oh, he had a dick in his mouth. No, I'm kidding.
I did.
Oh wait, you did.
I did actually.
Was it great?
No. But like, see, like that's what I'm saying is like, the whole time I was in Spain, like, I've had 2 dicks in my mouth, and each of them like very brief periods of time. I was gonna be sucking and fucking left and right.
Yeah.
And I got here.
Gorgeous here.
They are, but I was just sort of like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
You know, what's the point?
I feel like everyone needs a hoe phase.
Yeah.
Like I will never have I don't think I would ever have the phase. I mean, some people, their phase is a little longer.
Girl.
You know what I mean? Like
some people's hoe phase is their whole life.
Yeah, true. Mine lasted like a year or 2.
Mine definitely was longer than that. I had a long hoe phase. I'm probably still in my hoe phase. What do they say? Like the battle is over, not the war or something.
It's an ongoing.
Yeah, it's an ongoing struggle.
It's okay.
It's fun.
I'm just talking from personal experience.
I love being a hoe. But I also want to settle down. Like I want to.
You're like, fuck me, never talk to me again, but like, could we possibly get married?
Could we get married? No, I'm not like that. I just have... Okay, I'm like that.
No, literally just like that. You're like, I don't want to take you seriously, but like, it'd be cute if we were together.
Yeah. If you want to take me seriously...
Yeah, you have to initiate though.
Maybe I'll think about taking you seriously.
But just know other options.
There's other people taking me seriously.
So if you don't take me seriously for one day, I'm going to text someone.
Yeah.
Exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You love we talked about this last episode. You love the fantasy. You're like,
I love the fantasy.
Yeah. So you're a hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I know myself. Once I get involved and I'm into it, we're going all the way.
Yeah.
We're going all the way. Crank it up. It's either nothing or everything. For me, and it's so rare for me to meet people like that I like. So we're out here single for right now until I find the one. The ones.
The one.
Imagine getting like, you know what my biggest fear is? And I don't think it's going to happen.
What?
But you know the people who were like divorced like multiple times?
Oh yeah, like
I don't want to do that. And no judgment to people who
are on their 5th marriage.
Yeah. I just don't want to do that for me. I feel like after the second time it's like kind of pointless. Like, why are you getting married like 4 times? Like to me that's like I have money and I'm like want attention.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had 2 failed marriages, I would not go for number 3. I would have.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
What do you think about affairs?
Well, we know what you think about them.
I just like, I am a little bit addicted to that like, aristocrat rich people like, oh like the couple in White Lotus. We're both fucking other people, but
yeah, but that's not a healthy way to live life.
Like,
I'm sorry. I feel like they're romanticizing that, but I feel like that creates so many problems and secrets. Like they're both secretive with. I don't like that.
Secretive.
Yeah, and you can be secretive with whoever you're with. I cannot be with someone who's super secretive, and it gives me. That's like a big red flag for me, especially when I can't like figure someone out. Oh, that's like the Scorpio in me talking, literally. When I meet someone, it's like I can read you, but I don't understand you, and it makes me want to keep digging. Mm-hmm. But if I hit a point in time where I'm like, no, I still don't understand this person, I'm like, okay, I'm over it, because then I'll rather do this with someone else.
Yeah, fair.
But like, what are you hiding? Like, why are you trying
so
to be
many
secretive?
things.
No, not just you, but like people who are like
dark things.
Yeah, secret. I'm just like. Why are you being sus?
That's rich coming from you, who is like one of the most like secretive, cryptic people I know.
Okay, but it's okay for me to do it, but not for other people to do it.
You,
no.
Yeah, you are truly one of the most
cryptic
people. Who are you out with? Oh, a guy. Okay, who's the guy? Just like some dude. What's his name?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it was this.
Yeah, it's getting so bad. Like, I don't remember names. I used to be really good with names. I'm so bad with names. If we went through like most of the people we met over time, like throughout this trip, I would remember a handful of names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For some reason, that makes me think of that designer girl we met. We need to talk to her.
You ate her up.
I did eat her up.
Gemini girl.
Duh. We're getting away from our discussion about sex. What are some of your turn-ons? If someone does something, like what is something someone does that you're like, yes?
I feel like mine are going to be like on the corny side. They're not going to be like explicit.
Mine are too.
I think when someone, like, I can laugh during sex, like, it's, like, fun. Like, when sex is fun, I have a good time. I don't like taking sex seriously. I want to have a good time. Like, I want it to be hot and passionate, but I want it to be, like, we don't...
You don't need it to be, like, super, like, serious.
It's, like that's unnecessary for me.
I agree.
The second thing, I'll do 3, is... I need some emotional connection, like chemistry.
You are big on that. Yeah.
I'm really big on that. It makes the sex so much better. The more chemistry I have, the more like, yeah, I like somebody and I'm having sex with them, like, it makes us both more into it. I eat that up. Mm-hmm. And I think someone who is open to showing me or like doing new things with me. Someone who's open-minded, I think, is really important. And is a turn on when someone's just like, oh, I'm down to try that. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm down to try that. Yeah, because I'm very to myself, like kind of private. So I feel like when someone is able to, I'm not shy like in bed at all, but I think I'm more like a little bit on the more reserved side. So when someone can like open me up and that it's just like, hey, you want to try this, that, or this? Like I'm like, that's hot.
You're into that.
Oh, and if you're talking about it, you better do it. Like I don't want that all talk no action. So that's just I have to throw that one out there. Don't be telling me I'm gonna do this, that, and this, and then I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, have you ever hooked up with someone like that? Like all talk no action. Like they're talking up a big game. They're like, I'm gonna do this, that, and they're like shy and nervous or like being weird.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Yeah.
I definitely get that.
What about you? What are your turn-ons?
That's a good question. I have a lot.
Just do 3. And then move to your turn-offs.
I agree. Like, someone will, like, it's fun. Like, I like when there's, like, a little bit of a game, almost, aspect to it. Because, you know, like I've said, like, I really like the, like, back and forth, like, switching up the dynamic and the power roles and stuff. So, like, someone where there is this, like, give and take, this teasing type of stuff, like, love that. I am such a, like, intimacy, like, cuddles. If we're watching a movie and, like, that's what, like, love that kind of stuff, too. I don't know, what would be my third one?
What is it? Why are you asking me?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
What's like, or it can be anything.
Anything.
Like someone has done to make you feel like, oh, this was good.
Like physical touch too, like very like
Well, that's what sex is.
I disagree.
Sex is physical touch. You're like you just said very physical touch.
I think that sex can be just like pounding.
Okay, but you're touching. That's physical touch. You mean someone who's sensual?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and a little like adventurous. Like I also want to be like a little bit intimidated.
Okay.
Or I don't know where things are gonna go.
I was gonna say another thing that turns me on is, the foreplay has to be good. I'm so into foreplay. Like, the foreplay could make up for like decent sex and make it better. Like if the actual sex itself is like but the foreplay is really good. I'll do it again. But if the foreplay is really bad, and like the sex is like I don't think I'll do it again.
No, never.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What if the foreplay is just okay, but the sex is really good?
I'd rather the other way around.
Really?
Yeah. Because foreplay to me is so much more intimate than like.
It's more intimate.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've had that. I've had that before. Like the foreplay was weak, and I'm thinking of this one person. The foreplay was weak, but the sex was good. But because we didn't have good foreplay, I was like, I'm not really into this. Like I would do it again because the sex was good, but like, I need more in the foreplay. Foreplay is everything.
Yeah. I also don't know how you feel about it, but like, in terms of like the actual sex, I do not want it to take forever. Like, I'm good at about like 20 minutes of
I agree.
Not including foreplay. Foreplay can definitely be long.
Oh, but
yeah. You know,
but like the sex just 20 minutes
20
to a half an hour.
20 to a half an hour.
That's it. If
like,
you're going 45, no.
I was gonna say
absolutely not.
45 if we're like really feeling it.
Another hot thing, now I'm just thinking of it, is it's not a hot thing, but it's something I'm just like, okay, that's cool. If I'm able to go rounds with someone, that's nice. Kind of, because some people are just one and done.
Yeah.
I like to go like 2 rounds at least, 2-3 rounds.
It depends on the setting I'm in, but I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember this one person who
not back to back, by the way. Like, but like throughout the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying like back to back, like, okay, let's go. No, like little breaks, and then you just get back into it.
Well, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do also love like a weekend getaway though, where like it's just
hotel sex is the best sex.
Girl,
I love hotel sex.
I got an Airbnb.
You get all that shit out. All that,
the country,
everything out.
Out in the middle of nowhere with this guy. 3-day weekend.
You probably had like a lot of sex.
It was just like, I love that. Where it wasn't even like, oh, you're going 2-3 rounds. It's just like an entire weekend of sex.
I'm just fucking, yeah.
And like, yeah, you're having breaks in the middle. Like, you're doing stuff.
You're like eating food.
Exactly.
Smoking.
We went on walks. We had like...
Mid-walk, want to go fuck.
No, literally. There was like 25
I forgot you
acres.
did that. You told me about it.
No one around. Like, it was the coolest thing. Like, you could not see another building. And yeah, like, you're out on a walk and you're like, want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That person, I will say, though, had the problem that I was talking about earlier. When we would have sex, he would need, like, an hour and a half of, like, fucking to come. And I was like, I'm sorry, like, I can't.
Yeah. An hour and a half?
No, like, it was... And he was like, it's a problem in all of my, like, hookups, relationships, like...
People who come too fast. What are your thoughts?
Just say, as someone who's been on the other side... I would rather you come in 2 pumps than in an hour and a half.
That's true.
Especially like as a like if
you're. But see, I am not a 1-minute man, so I'm gonna be honest. It is a little bit of a turn off.
Disappointment.
And now we're gonna transition into turn offs.
Okay.
If you come in like the first minute of us having sex,
not into it.
Not a problem. I know it's your body. But I'm not a match because some people can't control it.
Yeah. I mean, like, if I went, like, a really long time without having sex, like, it's definitely happened before.
I don't think it's ever happened.
No?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Oh, God. I remember, like, the first time I ever topped, I, like, put it in, and it was like...
Okay, it's like a button.
Yeah.
What other turn-offs?
Turn-offs?
Another thing is if you take sex way too seriously, like serious. Little story time. I was hooking up with someone, and halfway into hooking up, I was like laughing, but not at them, just like, I don't know, there's like serotonin. Yeah, it's just serotonin. Like, we're both trying to be like super sexual, and like, you know, I just think it's kind of funny, like, because we're both acting, and he's just like, why are you laughing? And I'm like, excuse me? And he's just like, did something happen that's funny? Like, would you think it's funny or cool if I was laughing during like us hooking up? And I'm like, I wouldn't think it's a big deal. It's like, whatever. Exactly. And he was just like, and it just got really awkward. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave. Because now it's super awkward. Because it just
actually left?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because we were like having a serious conversation, and then I just got so turned off, and I'm like, whoa, all I did was like, haha, like, is that a big deal? But yeah, don't take sex seriously.
Too weird, yeah.
And then the other thing was, I'm okay with sweat. This is my thing with sweat. If I like you, there's a lot of things you can get away with me. One of the things is sweat. I do not like sweat unless it's with someone I like. If I'm hooking up with a stranger, I do not want... No, we could talk about it.
100% disagree.
If you're a stranger and we're hooking up and you're really, really sweaty, gross. If I'm talking to you, we're dating, and you're really sweaty, it's still kind of gross, but you get a pass because I like you.
I mean, how sweaty is sweaty?
Like, you know when they're like... I don't sweat a lot, so like... If I'm like wet from the other person, like that's kind of gross.
I mean, like if your like hair is dripping sweat, like yes, that's a little bit too much. But
yeah,
if you have like the sheen, the sticky, like,
ew, stop.
No, I love that. When it's like after sex, you're both kind of sweaty. You're like arm is on them, whatever. It's a little sticky.
Ew. Okay, very different. You also don't take showers after sex.
Not always,
Yeah,
I mean, not immediately.
No, I need to take a shower after sex.
It's not like I'm going, like, two days after having sex without taking a shower. It's like...
But you'll go through your day.
Oh, yeah, like, if
no. I'll only do that at night. If I'm fucking someone in the middle of the night, I'm like, oh, I'll shower in the morning, but to go through my day after no, I couldn't.
Oh, I think it's like kind of hot.
No, that's so gross. What's another dislike that you have, since we're going off about something you like?
I agree with what you say about taking sex too seriously, and with that, I will say, like I said, I love to be a little intimidated. I love to be a little scared. People who are way too aggressive in the bedroom, especially like off the bat,
don't like that.
Without talking. If you're talking about it and we have a conversation,
that's one thing. But if you're just getting into it, like really aggressive,
and if we don't know each other,
turn off.
Yeah, it's freaky.
Yeah,
freaky.
Way too freaky. Yeah, I mean, I'm accepting and like open to things, but just like talk about it. And if I'm not into it, I'm gonna be like, hey, I don't want to do this beforehand. I'd rather that than in the middle of it.
Exactly.
Because I remember I was hooking up with a guy. He was way too aggressive. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, like, what's this?
I'm not this kind of girl.
And then he was just like, well, like, this is what I'm into. And I'm like, yeah, but you could have told me that. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing too much. Like, I just met you. And you just have to, you know, because to me, it's kind of a turnoff when someone's being way too aggressive and, you know.
I completely agree.
I'm like, okay, now I'm soft and I want to go home. So
yeah. No, I mean, like if we've had a discussion and you are like, hey, this is what I'm into, like, and if you're the right kind of person, like, maybe I'll even say yes.
Has there been do you have an example of a time when someone was way too aggressive?
And I mean, like, yeah, definitely. When I was in college, like, some of these guys who I'd hook up with be like, oh, like, because I'm 18 years old. Like, I look like I'm 15.
Ew, don't say that. Gross.
No, like, people are just weird.
Well, because you like older men.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Little fucking guys.
Well, and there was a lot going on in that time to unpack. But, yeah, like, people would definitely be very aggressive.
Yeah.
At gay bars, people would be like so fucking. I mean, you know too. People are so aggressive.
Oh, but I'm so outspoken about that. Like, when someone would like be weird, I'm just like, can you not? Like, I'll literally.
I'm a little too bad about just like.
Yeah, you just take. Yeah, but I'll literally be like, can you not do that? Thank you. I remember. I think of 2 times. The first memory that I have was, I went into this bar in Connecticut, and I went into this bathroom, and this guy followed me in the bathroom, and I recognized him, like, we chatted before, but anyways, we were both drunk, and he, like, grabbed my face and went to kiss me, and I was just like, he didn't just do that. So then I left raging on fire to my friends, and I'm like, I'm not gonna say something because I'm gonna flip out. And what does that mean? I'm gonna say something.
You're gonna say something.
So then I went and like completely lost it in front of his friend, and he just like got embarrassed and leave. Do not fucking do that shit to people. It's so disgusting, so rude. Never like just put yourself on somebody like that. Like, makes the other person so uncomfortable. And I really like sexual assault and like rape and all that. Like, I take it super seriously because I can only. I've only experienced like things like that, thank God, but I feel so bad for the people who have been through so much worse. Yeah. Another time was I hooked up with a guy in the middle of fucking, slaps me across the face. And I was like, and I literally was just like, what? And I just like hit him back, and I was just like, yeah, he was like open hand, and I like hit him closed fist, in his chest, and I was like, don't fucking hit me. And then I got soft for a second, and I was like, okay, let's go back into it. I went back into it, but yeah,
no warning?
Yeah, no warning. He was like,
wow.
Not to get graphic, but riding me, and I was like, are you dead ass? Are you dead ass?
Wow.
Yeah, I hated that.
Yeah, I've never had anything quite like that happen. Like, I've had people like say, like, especially on Grindr, especially in the city, like, people would say a lot of really weird shit. Or like, there would be people who I would be talking to and I would think they were normal, and then they would
weren't.
say something. There was this one guy I remember talking to, like, basically, like, on the way to his apartment, and he's, like, basically, like, yeah, like, we're gonna fucking, like, this swing, like, I hope you, like, literally said something about piss play, and it was saying all this kinky stuff, and I was sort of like, hey, like, I'm not into this stuff, like, I'm a little more vanilla, and he's like, oh, well, like, can you just do it?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, I'm not, sorry, like, I'm not doing this. No one's getting tied up, no one's getting defecated, or
yeah, I
like,
just ew, stop. I'm not into all that. I'm into a tiny bit of kinks, but I
like the
don't
pain.
make it complicated.
I like the
okay.
I like the pain.
Listen to the Lana Del Rey when you go to bed.
This ad on Instagram, like recommended, called The Kinkery, and it's this couple who like makes sex toys. Also, some of them are
that's cool.
Horrific.
Okay, I was like, that's cool.
Some of them are super cool. There's some kinks out there. I don't mean to kink shame. I think about my body doing those things, and I'm like, no. Like, have you heard of sounding?
No.
Oh, it's terrible.
Okay, I don't want to get into that.
For those of you who
leave a comment if you've ever done that.
If you've ever done it, leave a comment. And I don't mean to kink shame. If you've ever done it, actually, like, leave a comment and tell me, like, what the sensation is.
Say
like.
what's your favorite kink, if you get to this point.
Tweet us your favorite kink, whatever. Let us know.
Everyone's into different things.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's okay.
That's what makes the world go round.
Kinks
And sex. It kind of is. That's why we're all here.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sex is important. But it's important to be comfortable and safe.
Yeah. Definitely be safe.
And yeah, sex should be fun.
And make sure everybody's enjoying it. Like, don't take it so seriously.
And don't be selfish.
Don't be selfish.
No one likes a selfish lover.
No.
I mean, some people do. Some people do like a selfish lover.
I mean, well, and that's some people's kinks, you know? Some people
they get off on, like, pleasuring like the other
person.
Yeah.
And we all get off on being pleasured, I think. Are there any kinks that you, like, really, like, do not understand?
Oh, the one with the dog mask?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't understand
That's so
it.
Weird.
I don't understand it, but, like, tons of people are into it.
I mean, not weird. Haha.
No.
It's not, no. When I say, like, weird, it's not, like, me insulting. Yeah, it's, like, something I wouldn't do. So it's hard to wrap my head why someone would do it. But go up. Like, do your thing.
The people who like their balls being stepped on.
Okay.
I'm just like, that sounds so painful. And I guess that's the whole point.
I don't want to ever think of that.
Girl, I do think that's bad sounding.
I don't want to hear this. I don't know what that is, but I'm shy. What's the word I'm looking for? Not shy.
Squeamish?
Reserved.
Sheltered
and reserved.
Yes, you are sheltered and reserved.
No, I've had my experiences.
Yeah, you have.
I think my crazy experiences is going to, like, certain clubs.
What would you say is one of your craziest sex experiences? Not like best, not worst, just like weirdest, craziest, most out there.
The first time I went to the Cock.
You had sex at the
Cock? I didn't have sex. No, this is like about sex. I didn't hook up or have sex with anybody. But it was the first time I was, like, exposed to a lot. So I went to there's a bar called the Boiler Room. And I went to the Boiler Room, got super hammered. And this was, like, my going out messy city phase. I'm like 22, 21. I meet a guy and he's like buying me drinks. Definitely just trying to take advantage of me. But I just didn't realize because I was naive. But yeah, we were drinking, and he's like, "Have you ever been to the Cock?" And I'm like, "No, I've never been there." Like, he's just like, "Oh, it's just a bar. Like, it's just a bar."
Oh.
And I was like, "Okay, I've never been. Like, I'm down. Like,
let's check it out.
You know, freshly 21 or 22, and I'm like, I'm ready for these experiences because I'm from a small town. We don't have things like the Cock from my small town, thank God. So I go to the Cock, and I'm like, why is there like black curtains? Like, why is this so weird? Like, and why do I, like, it's like an event. Like, it's not like a bar where you get ID'd and you go in. You have to pay. So
you have to pay for the Cock.
Yeah, you pay for the Cock.
Oh,
there's an entry.
You're right there.
And there's no women. It was all men. So, and this is like, yeah. So I'm sitting at the bar, and I'm just like, okay, like regular bar, right?
Yeah.
Regular bar, walking around, and I'm like, oh, people are like really hooking up here. Like, and I'm going to the bathroom, and whatever, like, I'm like, you know, when you're drunk and you're in the mirror and you're just like, where the fuck am I? Like, so out of it, but you're like, okay, you have to get it together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking out, and I see, you know, I'm walking around a little bit more, and I see the door that goes downstairs. Yeah. So I go downstairs, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Literally, the first thing I see is like a threesome.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? And like, as I'm walking around downstairs, I'm just like, okay, there's like a lot of things happening in here.
For the fans who don't know, the Cock is like a full-blown sex club in New York.
Yeah.
Like, people are going at it.
Like, they're doing their thing.
Everything.
They're doing
everything.
Their thing.
Full-blown orgies.
And there's definitely like other private events, but this is pretty like well-known. Yeah.
Well-known.
But like, there's other clubs, and we're not going to expose them. But like, there's other clubs where like they have back rooms and stuff, and
oh yeah.
Yeah, in the city. But yeah, I was downstairs, super naive. Like, everyone's trying to fuck you and like be all over you, and I'm like, I'm just here with the like Jack and Coke at the time because I thought it was cool drinking Jack and Coke. And then this guy that invited me there saw me, and he was just like, "Do you want to hook up?" And I was like, no. And he started being weird. He was like, "Okay, but I got you in," and I was like, I don't fucking care. Like, I didn't know this was a sex club. Like, what the fuck? So then, whatever, I go up there. I meet these two guys who were there on they just wanted to check it out. Like, they weren't even doing anything. They were like, cool. Got super wasted with them. Anyways, it's the end of the night because I went to this club really late. Everyone's like, after party, and I'm just like, in my head, after party means hang out and then you leave. I go with a group of guys. We go to this guy's apartment, drinking, smoke. Oh, they have weed, just like hanging out with friends.
After party.
Everyone starts undressing in front of me. Everyone. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there like, I'm like looking, like I'm smoking in the bong, and I look up, everyone's like naked. And they're like, okay, now you. And I'm like, no, not doing that. And they're like, what do you mean you're not doing that? I was like, I'm not fucking doing that.
Yeah.
And so I tried to like leave, and the guy was like, there's a guy who was like blocking the door, which was kind of scary. But he wasn't like not letting me leave. He was just like, hey, like, why are you leaving? Like you signed up for this. Like, you can't just like back out or whatever. And then another guy saw me in my situation, was like, no, you need to let him leave. Like, he can go. Yeah. And he was like looking out for me, but he was just like, you need to be careful in this situation. It's like, not everyone gets to leave. And I was like, what does that mean? Yeah, I was just like, exactly. What type of after party is this? Yeah. And I remember it was like, I left and the sun was rising. It was like 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I was just like, what the fuck was that night? I was like walking home to this train station, back to my boring life upstate. And on the train, I was just like, the whole time, I was just like, what even was that? Like, I was exposed to so much in such little time.
Short amount of time.
And my brain was trying to process it. And like, ever since then, I've been okay with it. Like, I'm so open to hearing about it, like seeing, learning, whatever. But like in my own personal sex life, I just don't need a lot to make me happy. That, yeah, like I like to have sex a lot, but like with someone that I like and like care about. Because if I don't, sex really means nothing to me. Yeah, like it's
fair.
Yeah, for me right now, like where I'm at in my life.
That's fair.
Yeah, but we'll see let's see who's the next lucky one. Who's the next one? But yeah, you know what it's like to have consistent like sex with someone you care about, and like
of course, it's so much better than random hookups and like the who am I gonna go home with from the bar? Who am I gonna find on an app? Which it sucks at how everybody meets nowadays. It's like got to the point where like it's actively weird to like go up and talk to a stranger in a bar.
I think COVID has done that.
I think COVID part of that. I mean, I feel like phones in general, but like COVID even more.
People are like standoffish.
But like if you go like if one of us went up and like talked to a stranger in a bar, and I know this because whenever someone comes up and talks to me, I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. I don't know you.
Well, that's just you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I think that's how everyone else is gonna react to me. Like when like if I go up to someone in a bar and I'm like,
you're just being friendly. I feel like a bar is a social setting. Like regardless. So if someone's talking to me, I don't have a problem with someone talking to me at a bar. I have a problem when someone's like actively being weird towards me and not even getting to know me. For example, we meet a guy at a bar and he's wrapping his hand around my waist and like whispering in my ear, like that's fucking creepy. Sorry. Creepy. But if you're like, hey, you know, like I'm from here or I'm traveling, I want to get to know more people, like what's up? And I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. Like you could just chat, but come with the right intentions. Like don't come with like I'm trying to fuck and like whisper in my fucking ear and like grab me. You don't need to grab me.
Hip hop whatever.
Yeah, like I don't like that.
God, people are so touchy.
I'm not a touchy guy, by the way.
You're not a touchy guy.
Not at all. Like I said, if I like you, so many things are like I'm okay with.
On the table, that
but
would
like
otherwise
if I
be
don't
off.
like you, you are not breathing or touching me like towards me at all. I hate that.
Yeah.
But you like to be.
I'm very touchy.
I like to be touched all over.
Girl, when you talk about the cock, I would never have like sex at the cock, but I like going in that dark room and getting felt up all over and like random when you're like making
Dancing in the Dark by Dev. Do you know that song?
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's what I thought of.
Yeah. But no, like when I'm like making out with someone who I have no idea, someone else is like kissing my neck, like people I love it, like where you can't see anything. It like especially like if you're rolling, I feel like that would be the best sensation ever.
Really?
I would die.
Yeah.
But I like that like slightly intimidating, like, cause it is kind of scary. Like you have no idea who the fuck is there. You don't know what anybody's doing.
Yeah. No.
I think it's fun.
Oh, sex.
Sex.
I wanted to add a new segment where we talk about our favorite book, or like what we're reading, what we're listening to, what shows we're watching. I mean, we're spending a lot of time together.
Yeah.
So we're probably doing similar things, but yeah, I wanted to add that little segment to the end.
As we've kind of discussed in passing a couple times, we are watching White Lotus.
Yeah, we watched Wednesday and White Lotus.
Oh, Wednesday and White Lotus,
It was really good.
Wednesday was really good, White Lotus.
But we got really into Aubrey Plaza. Love her. Love her.
I'm reading Grapes of Wrath right now, which like I feel is so high school, but
you're getting into it.
I know, like I love it. Like I said, like I like rereading books, like seeing like the more levels to it, whatever, foreshadowing, and it's nice to have like an American book while I'm away. Remind me of home.
Remind you of home. Music, for me, SZA's new album. I do like a couple of songs that are growing on me.
Okay.
They're called Snooze. I think there was another one. Low. And there's just a couple. I think like the first 5 I really like. And then there's like a couple throughout it. But SZA's new album, really fucking good.
I feel like I've just been listening to music through you, like, and then whenever I listen to music on my own, I just listen to all stuff, like so much Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So much Charlie XCX. Yesterday I was kind of having like.
But do you have like a new song that you've been really into?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you haven't been listening to like new music.
I haven't been listening to the last like new music that I got really into was Midnights.
Oh yeah.
Which I was so into. And I still am, like I'm still listening to it. But like yesterday I was listening to a lot of like older music.
Yeah. Which we've been into like 2000s a little bit.
Yeah, like I loved like 2000s. Like, yeah, like the Strokes, like.
Oh yeah.
I've been feeling that kind of like the like indie sleaze, whatever.
Yeah.
Right now.
I've also been like really into hip hop a little bit more. I've been tapping in.
I've been more into
like
hip-hop.
Outkast, like MC Doom, Kendrick Lamar.
I love Outkast. Outkast is one of my all-time faves.
Just like West Coast laid back type of vibe. I've been really into it.
Technically, Outkast is Southern hip hop. Just saying.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought they were West Coast.
No, girl, they're from Georgia. Georgia and Houston.
Good for them.
Yeah, Southern. Outkast is like the like ultimate like South.
Here, me being a fake fan, I only know their music and not them.
Outkast, UGK, 3 6 Mafia, like Juicy J, like that's like Southern hip hop.
Definitely. I love Juicy J.
Yeah.
Juicy J is like, he's like, my little buddy.
Yeah. What the fuck up?
Shut the fuck up. But on that note, thank you for
tuning in.
Tell
your friends about us. Share us around. We're trying to get bigger.
Girl, they don't want to share us around.
No, this is your homework. No. This is your homework. Like, comment, subscribe, and then tell one person in your life about this podcast.
Yeah, if you could share this to one person, we would love you.
I'm not even.
We'll put all the light on you.
Yeah.
Good vibes your way.
Good vibes your way. We'll give you a shout out. Ask us questions if you have any.
Yeah, true. If you have any questions about anything,
about
feel
who
free.
We are, about why we're qualified to make this podcast.
Which we're not. Just through life experience.
Just gay thoughts.
On that note, thank you everyone.
Bye.